There's a lot of opinion about the Cincinnati Bengals' upcoming football season and how it's going to be. We've talked a lot about the Browns and had a couple people, Mike Snyder last week, about the Browns. We wanted to check in on Bengals camp, and our friend Marisa Contipelli, who is covering the Bengals for Bengals.com, joins us right now. Off day for the Bengals today. All right, if I asked you, Marisa, week into camp, what the mood is there, what Marvin Lewis's mood is, what the top storyline is that you're hearing, what would you say it is?
Well, guys, first off, thanks for having me on again. Overall, 5 days in, the mood has been pretty positive, very optimistic. I know yesterday was a very big day for the team, having tight end Tyler Eifert out there for the first time in just about 10 months where he was actually able to practice and be a part of the team now. He was held out of a lot of the more physical drills, but, man, was it good seeing him take some reps with the quarterback, getting in on 7-on-7 action. Actually had a touchdown during that time, too.
How much of a lift is he? I mean, we've seen when he's healthy. I mean, Stan, he's a true weapon.
Yeah.
Like when he's healthy. His only issue, Marisa, has been staying on the field. I actually read some quotes of his last night where he said, I get where Bengals fans are frustrated with me, but look, no one's more frustrated than I am with this. But for Andy Dalton, for the team, how big of a weapon is this guy?
Oh, it's exactly it. To have that type of weapon on the field, it's not going to do anything but just help this offense, especially when you can line him up alongside an A.J. Green, a Tyler Boyd. You have Joe Mixon and Gio Bernard in the backfield, who are both very good pass catchers coming out of the backfield. I mean, you have a guy like Tyler Eifert, he's only going to help bolster that offensive attack, and especially when you have Bill Lazor, who wants to go up-tempo, wants to be pushing the ball, it's only going to help, especially if he can be out on the field for a substantial amount of time there.
All right, what kind of expectations are there for John Ross? No catches last year, first-round draft pick. I saw, and I think you actually shot the video, Marisa, a video on the first day of practice of him catching a long touchdown pass from Andy Dalton, and I saw some Twitter action of Bengal fans, cheering about that. Do they look at this guy as, look, last year was just, let's write it off. It was what it was. It didn't work out because of injury and different things. What are their expectations now for this speedy guy outside John Ross?
You are right. I was the one who shot that video. And you know what, Matt? Seeing his speed in real life on that first day of training camp was pretty eye-opening for me, because that was the first time I'd actually gotten to see him really go full speed. But, there's no hiding it. Bill Lazor has already told us during this offseason that they have high expectations for Ross. They took him in the first round for a reason last season. The fact that he's fully healthy, 100% able to go this training camp, it's been pretty exciting to see. He's out there making plays, getting to see him kind of juke a couple of the defenders yesterday in practice was pretty fun, and they expect big things out of him this season.
4.22 in the 40 is, man alive, that would be fast to see live, in person. And it certainly would makes defensive backs have to take a hard swallow as well. We're visiting with Marisa Contipelli, Bengals.com, talking about the start of Bengals camp. All right, the Buckeyes that are there. Well, first of all, let's start with Billy Price, who I know now is cleared for activity. Is he doing everything right now, Marisa? Are they holding him out of certain things? Where is he physically?
Yeah, no, he has been full go 5 days in a training camp. So he's been participating in every offensive line drill and has been taking a lot of snaps with Andy Dalton.
Very good. Sam Hubbard, we read some positive things about him that Marvin Lewis was saying out of OTAs. What are their expectations for Sam?
Well, there's a lot of competition on that defensive line. It's already a strong spot for the Bengals, just the amount of depth that they have. But, Sam Hubbard's going to be coming in competing for a starting spot. It looks like him and Jordan Willis, the second-year guy, are really going to be kind of competing to see who's going to start opposite of Carlos Dunlap this season. Hubbard has been spending a decent amount of time rotating in with the ones and twos just in training camp so far. And, we had a chance to catch up with Sam a few days ago, and I know Dan Horde, our play-by-play announcer, he asked him, just how the defense kind of translates for him from Ohio State coming into here. And Sam told him that, it's been really similar to what Ohio State ran to kind of what they're doing here with the Bengals. So having that bit of familiarity has kind of boded well for Hubbard in terms of getting his confidence going and kind of just having they're really not a bit of confidence when he's working with some of the other veterans here, and it's only going to make him better and kind of add to that. It just kind of his expectation of where he thinks he should be.
The other Buckeye that's there was an undrafted free agent in Chris Worley, and you've got the situation with Vontaze Burfict where he's going to be suspended for the first 4 games. Where are Chris Worley's chances on making this roster? Is he making an impression? What are you seeing? What are you hearing about Chris Worley?
Well, the door is certainly open for Worley to make an impact and to make his name known here, given Vontaze's 4-game suspension. It's not going to be a cakewalk, though. I mean, Worley has a good amount of competition. He's competing against guys like a Vinny Ray, who's trying to make this team, a Hardy Nickerson, a Junior Joseph, Brandon Bell. All of those names are kind of being thrown around with Worley's to see who is going to get that spot. Given Burfict's 4-game suspension. And from what I've seen, I mean, Worley, he's holding his own out there. I spent a good amount of time with the linebackers yesterday, and he's holding his own. And, there's a lot of training camp left to be seen, and he's going to have to make his presence felt in those preseason games.
Yeah. Stan, is there pressure on guys like that in the the preseason games we kind of, who cares about? But for guys like a Chris Worley that's trying to make a roster.
Yeah. Every data point counts. So you got to go out there and play well, because you never want to have anything negative weigh in the minds of the coaches when you're trying to make a football team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it matters.
Well, and I can even add to that. I know Marvin Lewis thinks very, very highly of those preseason opportunities for guys trying to make the roster, and they take that into great account. It's really important to the coaching staff.
Visiting with Marisa Contipelli, Bengals.com. I have to ask you, now Marisa was up here with Spectrum Sports and covered Ohio State football, so I've known her for a while. I've told the story about her doing the on-court stuff at Ohio State when I was doing PA. So for the Bengals to have drafted Billy Price in the first round, who you covered, Sam Hubbard in the third round, who you covered, they take Chris Worley, and you have this gig with the Bengals. Has that been refreshing for you? I mean, Billy Price is a fun guy to cover. Is the Cincinnati media finding out that, hey, this is a pretty cool guy? And how has it been for you, to those guys that you dealt with at Ohio State and now they're with the Bengals and you're with the Bengals?
Oh, man, I have absolutely loved it. I mean, those 3 guys you just listed, Sam, Billy, and Chris, those were 3 great players at Ohio State, 3 great guys to always cover, and it's not only watch on the field, but to talk to afterwards in media sessions and off the field. So the fact that those 3 guys are here in the Bengals locker room and in the facility has just been an absolute thrill for me, especially having a guy like Billy. I knew him pretty well over at Ohio State, and he's coming in just expecting to be a leader of the clubhouse, a leader on that offensive line, and that's something that not only the coaching staff has noticed, his fellow teammates has noticed, the media here has noticed as well. It's almost a daily occurrence where you have media members going up to Billy before or after practice and chatting with him, and it's been great to see, and they're definitely taking note of just the type of presence that he can bring to a team.
Did I see that Billy Price got engaged? Am I crazy?
He did. No, he did to his now fiance Taylor, and I have to give a little shout out to them. He had a fantastic proposal. Look at the pictures on his Instagram. He did a great job. He did it down by the banks, and very happy for the couple. As
long as he doesn't get married and has to miss a game like the Scarlet and Gray Buckeyes in the TBT, like Sully and stuff. Hey, Marisa, thanks so much for taking a few minutes and joining us. Appreciate it, and we'll check back with you later in camp and during the season. Appreciate it very much.
Always a pleasure. Thanks a lot, guys.